Welcome one and all to the fourth round of the Romanian League here at RLH Season 2. To be precise, we're at the Hungary ring. Ready for the drivers to make a track. We have a full grid for the first time this season. And I'm in your console for the Romanian League for the first time as well. And very much looking forward to seeing what the guys have here this evening. As we were waiting for the first cars to get out on track, so we got our first car just making its way out the pit lane. Which one of the Haas drivers is that? And it is both of them, actually. Razvan out first, and just behind him is his teammate, which is Adi Spinu, and he is taking the Romanian League by storm at the moment. Top of the championship by 69 points. Andrew Ivan in second place on 36, a massive lead so far, 2 wins out of his 3 races, and this is his first time at RLH. This will be his 4th race ever at RLH, and taking it by storm at the moment, looking very, very competitive, and we're hoping to carry on that fine form at the Hungary ring here this evening. Of course, a long race ahead of us on a very difficult track, and he's actually going to be the first car to set a time, so we'll have to see what he can do. Currently has 2 pole positions, 2 race wins to his name, and looking very, very good so far. Oh, the car's coming out the pit lane. I'll quick check on tyres, see what we're doing, and see how. Oh, a 5-race grid penalty. Where is that? One of the Red Bull drivers. Adi Tazu. Quick check too, the tyres. And fitted. Seeing Adi Tazu out on the soft tyres straight away. A few guys on the medium tyres, maybe looking to do a bit of an alternate strategy about opening his DRS. And they'll run down towards turn number 2. Keeping nice and tight to that inside, and it's flat out through the next part. Yellow flag as the car starting to back up the end of that. We've seen that in real life F1, and we're seeing it here once again, but it's a 26.6 in the first section. That is very quick, keeping it within the bounds of the racetrack, and that is very important. Around this lap can be very easy to invalidate for chicane using 3rd gear and all of the exit curb as well now. Bit of a jump up to 5th gear, but straight back down to 4th, and now flat out as we make our way through turn 11 now. Bit of a drop down to 6th gear, and now flat on the run down to turn 12. 53 flat for that middle end of the middle sector crossover point, and just making his way down towards this hairpin. You want to get on the power as early as possible, but it sort of stops you from doing so. And coming around the final corner now, run out of ERS deployment, opens DRS now, the run towards the line, can't do anything more. It is a 14.6, and that is a very good sign. Straight off, we'll see what his teammate is doing. Razovan towards the line now, a little bit back, and he puts himself into P2, just under a second behind. Fifi got trapping in front of Dan on those medium tyres, and going to be compromised a bit as Dan doesn't have that same sort of grip on the quad out. Fly move out into 4th, and Andrew splits the 2 Hasses going into P2 in his Ferrari. Rao in 3rd now, just outside the sub 15 club, and very tight now between the Racing Point and the Alfa Romeo. I think he's going to be a bit ahead of Dan, but as they both come towards the line now, Dan goes into P8 and Fifi into 6th, but very compromised right towards the end of his lap. Calais on the medium tyres. Another driver, Alexandru, goes into what is now P10. The times are coming out. Driving into 6th. Law into 4th. Nicolau up into 9th on those medium tyres. Good lap on the medium tyres in the highest medium run at the moment. But Show Crime in the Renault goes into P7. A very quick final sector by him. Seems to be purple on our screens. Coming across the line now is nobody else. We're going to see who the next car is. It looks to be Ressel. Oh, car going off. Oh, McLaren into the wall, and that is Dragos. Into the wall. Ressel just starting his lap in the Alpha Tauri. And Dragos, I think the only other car on a flying lap, but having a few troubles so far. We've got Jan Alex just getting out the way there. Jan Alex just getting out the way as Ressel makes his way through a very fast turn 3 now, flat out, foot to the floor as he climbs his way up now the hill to the end of the first sector. We'll see what the split is going to be. 27 flat, few a few tenths behind Adi Spinu. Has a very, very quick time from the Haas driver. Haas is right on a 14.6. Making his way now through the chicane. A nice bit of inside curve. And again, using all of that curving on the outside as well. Fourth gear, brief moment in fifth there. Runs wide, doesn't invalidate though. They didn't get any time. He's got Red Bull gone off ahead. Not too sure who that is. I think it is. Oh, Red Bull gets out of the way. Bit late, but I mean, he did the best I think we could do. Didn't see Russell till late, but did his best. And that was Hadi Tzu. And that's towards the final corner. We'll see what Russell can do. He gets on the power and opens DRS, and it is going to be a 17A, and it puts in P13. Marius Daniel on a final moment, 16A. That's a very good first sector time. See what he's looking like in the middle sector, 54.187. He's got the McLaren just in front of him, Billy Missu, who is on a lap on the medium tyres. The guys seem to be very close at the moment. It's very difficult to find a bit of space here at the Hungaroring, it seems. Coming through the final corner, what can the Ferrari driver do? Getting on the power now as early as he can, opening DRS and towards the line, using a bit of slipstream in front of him, and it goes into P10. And we'll see what Alex is doing on his lap. It says he's on, change that to fitted, on the softs. Setting a time. We'll see what he can do on this run. Got a car in front again and just struggling to find a bit of breathing space at the moment. Fifi and Showcrime backing in chat. And Alex 54 flat, having a good time. Can he put himself into that top 10? He's be very close. There's a lot of guys around that high 15, low 16 mark. And we'll see what the Racing Point driver can do. Can he get above his teammate Fifi, who's just on an outlap at the moment? Racing Point driver number 15, be opening DRS very, very soon. And onto the pit straight. It is going to be a 15.6, and that puts him into P7. A very, very good time indeed. Showcrime on an outlap at the moment, and Fifi as well. Billy Missu 4 tenths up on his time. I think he's doing another run on these medium tyres coming towards the final part of the lap. Red Bull just in front. I think that might be Rao just about to start his flying lap now. McLaren driver making his way around the final corner, open DRS on the power. How will the improvement look for him? Goes into P10, a very good time on those medium tyres. Got Rao on the flower, follow Rao. Commentator on Rao last, and it's C4, Asia Cup C4, and a very big following for Rao. See what he can do as he makes his way towards the end of this first. There's a climbing up the hill, climbing up the gears, and through the first sector he's found almost a 10th improvement. It's a very, very quick time and very good speed through the very, very difficult turn 4, blind turn 4 pretty much, and he makes his way towards the chicane now. We're going to see him fly through a brilliant camera angle. This is dropping it down into 4th. We got up in 5th. We've seen a few guys do that. No, opting to stay in 4th. Keeping the car under control, getting on the curb and almost losing the car as well now. Coming now towards turn 11. Gets on the power as early as can, but invalidates the lap. Unfortunately for Rao, because he was still up and maybe even looking to go into P2. A very good time already for Rao. Oh, the Haas driver losing the car as he, I think, maybe a bit put off by the Red Bull. He gets out of the way though. Andrew Ivan just coming up to this in the Mercedes. He's currently in P8. Red Bull gets out of the way very nicely. We'll see how he can, if he can climb up from that P8. He's got a bit of a gap in front, but invalidates his lap there just towards the end of the middle. So the Fifi sets a time for P8. We'll see what the two front runners are doing. Invalidation portion for Andrew, and he's been just starting his flying lap. Law also, I think, on a flying lap as well. He looks to push that Renault. We'll see what his first sector time is looking like as he comes up towards the top of the hill. A 10th up for the Renault driver. Again, another driver that's got a bit of a gap in front of him. So even with a couple of 10th improvements, he will not be gaining any positions. And they've just got to try and push, try and get into that top 3 if he can. And speaking of getting into that top 3, no, I thought something changed up there, but it did not. Showcrime, improvement into P6. Two Renault's going very strong at the moment. What can Law do towards the end of this middle sector? Very, very nice so far, and he's a 10th and a bit up. Purple throughout the middle sector. Can he get that perfect final sector hooked up? Bit of a locker on the inside. Keeping it nice and tight and getting on the power as early as possible. Using third gear. Short shifting as well out of the corner. Just waiting to get on the power now. Opening DRS and towards the line. It's going to be a 15-1. All 3/10 improvement. Fantastic final sector. Not quite enough to find positional improvements. Shogun was getting out of the way. And driving up again in that first sector by 3/10. Up by 4/10 as he makes his way through the middle sector. This could be a very good time. Potentially putting him up into even P5. We think we saw the start of the Mercedes, or some Mercedes the last lap. We saw invalidation. And he decides to come into pit lane, so he knows he has the pace. What can he do? Calais, big improvement on that final run as he swapped from medium to soft. And the Rebel driver not finding time on this current lap. Fine ball out into the pit lane. Dragos coming towards the end of his final lap, punching a bit wide, then getting on the power a little bit later than he would have wanted. P17 is a small improvement for him. Russell on the medium tyres. He did his first run on the soft. Can he find a bit more time on the medium tyres? Things around the final corner, looking to maybe run a bit of an alternate strategy towards the line now. Apologies. 3/10 improvement goes P18. Dan on that lap at the moment, and Vlaricello just about to start his flying lap. Alexandru goes onto, he completely missed that. Alexandru onto provisional pole position. What a time at 14.2, and that is a real statement of intent from the Alfa Romeo driver. Fantastic lap. I think there might have been a small mistake there for Adi Spinu, but he gets underway and still time to go for another lap. But what a time from Alexandru. Make sure he doesn't get in the way of the Tari behind, and gets out of the way just about there. And Rao on a flying lap as well, using all the track there as he goes full throttle now through turn number 3 and climbing up the hill. Blind crest of 4, what's going to be 10th and a half improvement. Rao is looking very good so far. Marius Daniel goes into P6 in the Ferrari. Looks like we've got McLaren at Billy Musso just starting his lap as well as a Racing Point, and a Red Bull Racing Point ahead of Rao. Almost thought he ran really wide there, but he didn't. Looking very good through this middle sector. Red Bull, of course, having known for his downforce, staying in 6th gear, runs a bit, keeps it within the limits of the track. 3/10 up so far for Rao. Can he break into that top 3 and into the 1:14? Alex into 3rd place. His teammate just in front of Rao. That's Fifi just on the now lap. Rao though around the final corner and onto the pit straight. He's run out of DRS, opening DRS towards the line. It's going to be a 14.4. What a time from Rao. 5/10 off a second. He goes P2, just a little bit behind Alexandru, but a fantastic time from Rao. And a great time from Janelle Alex as well. Marius Daniel a little bit down at the moment. Can he find a little bit more time towards the end of that? The track seems to be improving. Guys finding time as they're starting to push the limits. Bit of a gag when he comes into the pit lane. Nevertheless, Billy Musso invalidated his attempt, but you see he's massively up, 7/10 up, and this time would have put him sort of 7th, and a 15.3 would have been, I think, a time for P8, just a little bit behind Marius Daniel. Ooh. Fantastic time there from L'assist, getting into the 1:14s in that AlphaTauri. Relatively quiet session so far, but a very good time from the AlphaTauri driver nonetheless. Andrew Ivan 3/10 up in that first sector. Lord gets out of the way very nicely, but invalidation again, just taking a little bit too much curb. And the Mercedes driver, I think, is going to go straight into no ERS deployment, and he's going to have to think about going again. Fifi into pit lane. Billy Musso up in that first sector by quite a bit, and that is how you take the chicane. Very committed there and very nice indeed. The number 87 McLaren driver looks like a bit of smoke on the back, just about avoids a invalidation penalty there. And what will he do now through turn 11? Very easy to run wide. He's gone purple, 5/10 of a second up at the moment. Looking to get, I think, into sort of the back end of the top 10 at the moment. But can he find a little bit more time in that final sector? Keeping it nice and tight as he makes his way through turn number 13 and onto 14. Across the line, it's going to be a 15.2, goes P8, a 7/10 improvement. And Andrew, I think, has a small improvement there of a 10th. Gets ahead of Jen Alex and into 4th place he goes, getting out the way of Calais. Currently down in 14th position, just starting his flying lap. We'll see what the Williams driver can do. He makes his way now through turn 3, foot to the floor. Climbs up the hill now. I feel like he has, this is the second run, not as much ERS as you would have think. A little bit down at the moment, just outside the 27s, but runs a little bit wide. Pushing it a little bit too much, and a bit of frustration after not getting the first stage as he would have wanted. Varichello. I think the rain. We're having rain. Ooh. And I feel like this could be qualifying over, because that rain looks quite heavy for slick tyres. And I think, yeah, this could be qualifying done and dusted. Driver's in the garage and he's spinning. Just about to start line up at the moment, but look, you just can't get the power down in these tricky conditions. And is this a sign for the race potentially? Could we be having damp conditions during the race as the rain is out? And we'll have to have a quick check. Is anyone majorly out of position? Because, well, this is qualifying done and dusted. If you guys not getting the laps, we saw Andrew Ivan, you know, not doing the sort of time he would have wanted after a small invalidation. And having a quick look at the championship. You know, we've got, let's have a quick look. Anyone sort of where they wouldn't want to be? I think Andrew Ivan actually second in the championship, currently down in 12th position, so, and sat in the pit lane, so he is down in 12th, and unfortunately, yes, out. Well, not out of qualifying, but doesn't have the opportunity to improve, and not really where he would have want to have been. Russell as well, currently down in 19th place. He sits 4th in the championship, does the AlphaTauri driver. Yet to get a win or podium this season, but I think driving in all 3 races has consistency is key and has got him up there in 4th place in the championship. I think Varichello, you could argue as well, currently has a podium to his name. That was a P2 for him, and he's currently in 15th place. And look at this, this is intermediate weather at this point. If we on board, I mean, he's not quite kicking him a spray yet, but it's looking very, very difficult out there already, and this is definitely intermediates. Anyone going to brave it on a set of inters? Bit of inter running to try and practice it maybe for the race, if we are having damp conditions in the race. Find something. Look, I think he's the only person I can watch on the track, just showing us how difficult it is out there. They haven't gained massively from qualifying. That's something to have a look at. Billy Misu currently 14th in the championship, sits very pretty in 8th place at the moment. But see, he just can't get the car stopped. It's just so difficult now as the rain is, in the last couple of minutes, has completely poured here, and I think this is qualifying over the time. Flicker flag has dropped. No one is out on laps because Varichello is the final car on track as he makes his way down towards the end of the pit lane, gets the car and slowed nicely down. And at what point will the session end? Mercedes driver makes his way into his box, and that is qualifying done and dusted here for round 4 of the Romania League. And Alexandru takes pole position, and his first pole position in RLH, so very well done to him. Raul in P2, Addy spinning in 3rd, and we are set for a very, very good race. A few drivers out of position, and we're looking to see who can make up the places. With a full 20 driver grid, we're set for some fantastic racing here at the Hungary ring, and I do not know what we're waiting for because everyone is finished. I guess we can run through the grid order. So we have Alexandru on pole position, 1 minute 14.2, a very strong time. Raul in 2nd place, a little bit further back. So we can get a there we go, 2/10 further back in his Red Bull. Addy Spinu, championship leader in the Haas, takes P3. Andrew P4. I think in the other Alfa Romeo. Alex, first of the racing points, 5 tenths back in P5. Assist in 6th place. Law Check is anyone on medium tyres? Nope. Law, 8 back in the Renault 7th. Billy Misu, 8th place. Maris Daniel 9th. Show Crime 10th. Razvan 11th. Andrew Ivan 12th. Fifi 13th. Calais 14th. Varicello 15th. Adi Tuzu 16th. Flying Boy Val 17th. Dragos 18th. Russell 19th. And Dan rounds up the field in 20th place. I think we're in for a very competitive race though, and if this rain is here to stay, it will definitely put the cat amongst the pigeons, because no one has done any wet running so far, because no one ventured out on the intermediate, so nobody knows what the track feels like under those sort of conditions. And I think we're going to maybe get going when the clock at the top ticks to 0. A couple of seconds remaining, and if not, we'll have to make a new lobby. We've seen that a few times. Here we go. There we go. Alexandru taking the top spot. Apologies, Andrew is in the Ferrari, not the Alfa Romeo. I think Dan is in the other Alfa Romeo, off the top of my head. Indeed he is, but oh yes, Adi Tuzu, starting in 16th place, is actually going to start right at the back of the grid. 5-place penalty for an incident right at the start of the session. And that is not ideal for the Red Bull driver. I think we're definitely set for a very competitive race. A lot of close battles up and down the field. You know, up at the front and in the midfield especially. We're set for a very, very strong race this evening. Already, the guys will start to select the strategies, and I'm very interested to see what the weather is initially. And it looks blue skies. The sun is shining. The weather looks nice and clear. And we are set for a glorious race under the sun. Those guys select their strategy, select their fuel loads, and of course top 10 all starting on the soft compound tyres, and will the drivers behind opt for an alternate strategy, opt to go something different, maybe hoping for a safety car, a virtual safety car, and take advantage of that at some point during the race. You guys all ready to go. The Audi Spinning Championship leader looking to try and extend his advantage, especially with Andrew Ivan down in 12th place. And Andrew's not too far behind him though. And Russell starting 18th place on the grid. We're seeing those guys getting away for the formation laps. On pole position we have Alexandru. Second place route, I think he might have a few issues, but he's back in the lobby, which is good to see. I thought he was. Ali Spinu in 3rd place. Andrew in P4. Alex P5. Assist in 6th, but we're looking at the strategies here. 1 stop, soft to hard, or a 2 stop, soft, medium, medium. So very interesting to see if we have a few differing tyre strategies. Law in 7th. Billy Musu 8th. Maris Daniel 9th. Show Crime in 10th. Razvan 11th, Andrew Ivan in 12th, Fifi 13th, Calais 14th, Varicello 15th, Flying Boy Val 16th, Dragos 17th, Russell 18th, Dan 19th, and Adi Tuzu in 20th place. I think we're having a few issues at the moment, and that is connection issues, and that is not ideal for after such a strong qualifying as well. He looked to be one of the guys to really battle away at the front. Have a look what tyre strategies we've got. Looks like outside the top 10, everyone apart from Fifi and Drago's going for that medium tyre, trying something different. And this actually gives, I mean, of course it's really unfortunate for Raul having these issues, but it gives Alexandru a massive advantage. But he's back. Raul is back. I was going to say, give him a massive advantage because he doesn't have to worry about the immediate threat from the driver alongside him on the grid. Hopefully Ralph can get in that car before at the start of this race. And it's going to get very competitive off the start. All 20 drivers raring to go. Qualifying is done and dusted. And we're just waiting for the last few drivers to round the final corner and go on board with Eddie Suzuki. As he, on the medium tyres, is going to slot into his grid slot on the right hand side. Bit of a burnout as he makes his way into box, and we are now ready to go, awaiting the lights for round 4 of the Romanian League Season 2. We can just see them in the distance when the lights decide to come on. If the lights decide to come on. The suspense. Hopefully we've not got any issues here. So Rao's managed to get himself back in, which is good news. However, we don't seem to be having much of a start. So far. I hope they've not gone and I'm the one with issues. I don't want that to happen at all. We've got the predicted tyre strategies in front of us now. I will check the Discord chat because I don't think it seems okay. Unfortunately, I can't speak Romanian, but it sounds like we have a restart in place because there are, well, as we can see, quite a few issues. And yes, this is we are set for a restart here because, well, we're not going anywhere. Thank you, Codemasters. Once again, we were completely fine, and then it's broken. But nevertheless, we can talk about what, while we wait for the appropriate sort of restarts to be set up, we can have a quick discussion about who is set for a good opportunity in this race. At some point, we will get going. Looking at tyre strategies in this race, we've seen it's soft to hard. Maybe those medium runners can go a bit longer, bring themselves a bit more into play, and then we are going. However, yeah, this will not be the actual start. I can confirm that already. Carnage, as you would expect, as some drivers have left the lobby, but we're out racing down towards turn 1 nevertheless, and we will safety car ready. But yeah, this is not the actual race, so probably the guys just having a bit of muck about while we wait for the proper race to be set up. And gotta say, we get a quick look at positions gained. Drag up 11, down up 12, fantastic stuff. But yes, we will. I'll leave the session as late as possible so we get at least something interesting on the screen. But yeah, hopefully this should help sort out Rao's connection issues as well, and we'll get going as quickly as possible. The guy's just racing around at the moment. I'm just getting a bit more of a feel of the car. But look at tyre strategy, very interesting. Between laps 6 and 9 for that first stop, and actually on Adi Spinu's tyres, it suggested doing a 2-stop even with the hards. I think maybe he might be one that benefits. Maybe just went did an extra lap on those softs. Some guys might not have got the message just yet, and we will get going as soon as possible as guys are leaving. And there we go. The race has finished. I don't know why it's finished, but apparently it has. I think maybe everyone's just left and I'm the only one still here. And the unofficial race is taken by the Haas driver. Of course, very, very weird scenes, as we are already done the lobby. Doesn't seem to be anyone left in here. And we're now in Azerbaijan. Oh wow. Hopefully I can get an invite to the to see what's going on. But we'll be back very, very shortly for the start of the race. Of course, we'll jump straight into the race. No messing about at all. No qualifying. That's already done. We'll have a custom grid set up for us. And just wait for our invite, which will come with very, very shortly. Indeed. And we are in. 19 drivers in at the moment. I think we're just waiting for one more. And then we'll get going straight away. Custom grid, so hopefully we saw this in C6 on Thursday, where some drivers didn't go with the tyres they qualified on. I think some that actually qualified on the soft tyres swapped to the medium inside that top 10, and we did see a disqualification post-race for the top 10. I'm going to have to be very careful. All of them did qualify on the soft common tyres. Dan is in to the lobby now. We have all 20 drivers in and ready to go. We'll be getting away very shortly. Hopefully these guys can select their car just before we get underway. And I'm very much looking forward to 35 laps around the Hungary ring. Of course, this is the opening race of the week for the races at the Hungary ring. Of course, we have C1 to C6 racing here from Tuesday to Thursday. And it looks like, I think Dan maybe having a few issues, just left the lobby. Hopefully he can get back in, and there he is. On cue, very nicely. And everyone's showing good connection as well, apart from Clay. It's good to see. Including myself, which I'm quite proud about, because I just moved. New setup today, so glad to see it's all working very well. It's been a very interesting race so far, Alexandra. Indeed it has. I'm just waiting for one more driver to select their car, and we can get going. Actually, some proper racing rather than being stuck. Almost ready to go. Just wait for the last driver to select his car. Which will not be long away. Just want to get going now. Anticipation is building. I'm sure the drivers will be desperate to get back out on the track, and also this could, be a bit of a factor. This bit of a break, disrupt some of the guys' rhythms, and we might see that at the start of the race. Some guys not adapting to it very well. Well, we can have a look at the track while we're just waiting for everyone to get ready. Located at Budapest, 14 turns, 4.3 kilometers, which equates to 2.7 miles. Is actually rated as a hard track difficulty-wise. The lap record is 1:17.1. We see that broken in the race today. Of course, qualifying, they're down in the low 14s. Max Verstappen currently holding that track record. I think it would have fallen after having the 2020 race. I'm not too sure, but I think it did. And I think the drivers are maybe starting to ready up. Law's readied up, Clay's readied up, and I think that basically means let's get racing. Everyone is ready. Matty Tizu not actually selected his car yet, so hopefully he can get into where he should be. I think actually should logically slot him into the Red Bull, considering that's the only spot left on the grid. And now it's time for the race. 50% race, 35 laps of the Hungaroring. And let's get going. Round 4, here we come, of Season 2, the Season 2 Romanian League. And all ready up, all ready to go. And it is time to select tyre strategies, or is it? It is. A slight bit of panic there started to set in, but nevertheless the drivers will select their tyre strategies. I'm assuming it was a dry race as well. Driver selecting the tyre strategy, selecting the fuel loads, and hopefully we see everyone in the top 10 abiding to that tyre rule and starting on the soft compound tyres. I think it will be very interesting race in terms of tyres as well as the racing itself. You guys already know what they're doing. Maybe people changing what they originally had planned. Very interesting to see. Well, actually, it's also very interesting. Adi Swinu, 2 wins so far. The other person to get a win, Marco Bota, not racing today. He is one of the reserve drivers, in actual fact. So he isn't racing today, unfortunately for him. I don't know if he couldn't, or there just simply wasn't space for him as a reserve driver. A very, very strong turnout, it must be said, from all. And Alexandru leads us down into turn 1 once again. Oh, looks like Adi Tuzu's had that penalty removed. So maybe just a little bit of person selecting the grid, a little bit kind to him, and taking away that 5-place grid penalty. It do seem to be a little bit harsh in qualifying. Nevertheless, good for him. Alexandru will run for the grid once more. Alexandru on pole position. Rao in P2 in that Red Bull. Adi Swinu, championship leader, in 3rd place. Andrew P4, Janalax in 5th. Assist 7th. Law, sorry, this is 6th. Law 7th. Blimisu 8th. Maris Daniel 9th. Shokrai 10th. Razvan 11th. Andre Ivan takes P12 in the Mercedes on the medium tyre graphics. And everyone playing ball. Very good so far, but it's also going to be very interesting because fresh tyres for everyone. Everyone inside that top 10 gets a fresh set. Qualifying 11th or 12th or 13th or down doesn't give you that advantage anymore. Andrew Ivan 12th, Fifi 13th in the Racing Point, Calais 14th place, Blaricello 15th, Adi Suzu 16th, Flying Boy Val 17th, Dragos 18th, Russell 19th, Dan rounds out the field in 20th position. Alexander just making his way around the final corner. The Red Bull and the Haas just behind, and hopefully we can get going. Second time lucky. Tyre strategies are there, medium to hard or soft, medium. So maybe it's reverted from its original soft to hard strategy. We'll have to see what the drivers decide to do. It's going to be a very interesting race in terms of the tyre compounds. But just coming around the final corner, slotting to the grid slot is Dan. Alfa Romeo at the front and at the back. And now please, 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 can we get going? And I think we have been managed to get going because the lights are here now. We have 4 and 5 red lights, and it's lights, and away we go. The lights were not on for a long period of time at all. And there is carnage at the start, not great at all, but a free wide down into time, and Rowling to the inside, ducks in there behind the Alfa Romeo. On the outside is the Haas driver. Freezing time penalty already, and Adi Spinu up now into second place, looking to try and go around the outside potentially, but the virtual safety got down the inside. Well, you know, it's into the back, maybe. I don't think there was contact in the end, but seems to be a few issues with the lobby. Look at that timing order. I hope we can get it reset in a moment. It looks like Russell dropping to the back of the grid. Has anyone got damage in? Well, I mean, it could have been a massive melee. Not too sure. Everybody seems to be taking the lead. Who can get the best jump start on the end of the VSC? And we are on green once again, trying to get back to the front. Alexandru leading the Haas driver of Adi Spinu. We're back on the top. On the timing boards are back once again, but Adi Spinu right on the back as they make their way further down the order. Positions are changing. Red Bull looks to go round the outside, and we side by side jumping over the curb there. The two drivers behind getting massive compromise. Calais losing a few positions, dropping down now is Rao. Rao's had a moment, I think, on the virtual safety car restart and into the wall, and he's dropped down into 14th place. Mercedes, who've got the inside of Flying Boy Val, not quite at the moment. Oh, and off into the wall. Rao almost losing the car, and down the inside goes Vlaricello, goes up in a P13 and gets ahead of Flying Boy Val in the Mercedes. Further up the road though, looking very competitive between Billy Misu and Razavan. And the right in the slipstream now, looking to the inside. I think the McLaren driver is going to be moving up into P8. Can the Ferrari of Maris Daniel gain anything from this? Razavan looks to do a bit of a switchback route into the pit lane. A few drivers into the pit lane actually. And Law on the back of the Ferrari driver runs wide now. Can Law take advantage as they climb up the hill towards turn 4? And looks like a little bit too far back at the moment. A few 4 cars into the pit lane. And further back in the order, Maris Daniel right back of Razavan, soft sides versus mediums. A great start from Razavan, getting into that top 10 already on those tyres. Law though is all over the back of Andrews, gone massively deep. Can we see a move now coming out of the chicane? Down the inside goes Law, and he's up in a P4. Fantastic move from the Renault driver. Actually the front two already off into the distance. Moves further back. Russell getting past Dragos. And McLaren driver dropping down a little bit further. Clay just coming out the pit lane on another set of medium tyres. The battle is very much on. A big lock-up for Andrew, and he's got a bit of a train forming behind him at the moment. Oh, and onto the curb! Onto the curb goes Show Crime, and almost into the wall. Can he avoid damage? Just about. And he's going to come into P10. Yellow flags are out, but I think they're going to get waved away very, very soon. Fifi just avoiding contact. Lassis now right to the back. Oh, almost contact. He's getting a much better exit off of that final corner. There's a duel going on between Flying Boy Val and Russell. Gets back at Dragos into that penultimate corner and trying to go around the outside is Lassis, but pushing wide is Alex, and Alex goes off the track himself now. Can Razavan gain anything from this as they come flying towards the McLaren driver of Billy Misu? Up 3 places now, up into P5. Fantastic work from Billy Misu, avoiding any dramas there. And it's been a fantastic battle, all of them fighting over P5, and the top two are still very much glued together. But Razavan unable to get past and losing out a little bit there. This is now on the back of Andrew. Vlaricello getting past his team at towards turn 4. Vlaricello is getting a time penalty for that. Dragos and Russell battle still going on, but I think very much is in the midfield at the moment. It seems to be a poor exit for Lassis, and he's going to lose the place. But right hand on the side, the soft tires, I think much better grip now. He gets on the curb, though. Can he keep the momentum together? And he is. The Ferrari driver Maris Daniel almost looking to try to find a way past Razavan, and those medium tyres not suiting him too well at the moment. Some yellow flag down at turn 1, and that's between Adi Tuzu and Calais, as they're dueling over 19th place at the moment. But Show Crime down the inside of Fifi, pushing a bit wide. Can the Mercedes now of Vlaricello find a way through? Very, very neatly slotted through. No damage for them apart from Vlaricello. I think actually the racing point seems to be fine. Route getting a penalty. Oh, down the inside. Fifi running wide, struggling on the soft tyre. I think he might have wing damage. Andrew Ivans into the pit lane. Actually, very early stop, and Show Crime coming past. It doesn't actually seem to have damage. Does Fifi, just lacking a bit of grip, and down the inside went assist on Andrews, dropping down the field a little bit. Andrew Ivan, where's he going to slot out? I think he's going to come out where he is now, 15th. If he gets out of the route, that'd be quite important, I think, for his race. We're having great pace, but this battle over the final couple of points position on it at the moment. The two Ferraris dueling with the Haas and the AlphaTauri. Another lock-up from Andrew. This Tires will be complaining to him massively. Fifi getting a penalty for a little bit of track extending. They come for this part. You would think it's time for single file sort of stuff, but not with these guys. It seems so far, giving it absolutely everything and taking every opportunity where they can. Showcrime on the back of Varichello, both of them running wide. I think those medium tyres, the guys are struggling a bit on these current strategies, or sorry, current setups in race trim. And Dragos and Russell still dueling away at the moment over 13th place as things stand with the battle. Still Andrew putting up a mighty defence so far. But the cars just behind, we might see a bit of overtake. Enabled Marius Daniels another best seat in the house for this duel up into overtake. Razvan is doing exactly the same, opting not to hunt for that sort of slipstream. Can he go round the outside now as they dive into turn? Yellow flag. I think that's Ali to do at the back. Unfortunately, having a few issues. Oh, getting on the power there. Marius Daniel, we've got a car off. Hopefully he's not retired, but Razvan do a bit of switch. Andrew goes in too deep. Razvan down the inside of his medium tyres, but Andrew can get a much better exit. And now climbing his way up the hill, he's going to lose a bit of his teammate as well, running wide. It's the Ferrari driver. Andrew's defence comes to an end. And Varichello and Showcrime not too far behind now. And Marius Daniel and Razvan both getting past. You see the guards in front already quite a bit up the road, and Alexandru as well. 1.9 seconds clear of Adi Spinu. Alexandru could be looking for his first win. Seems to have had the pace so far today. 2 podium finishes to his name in his RLH career. 1 this season. He got a 3rd place finish on the previous races. Varichello already onto the back of Andrew, is really struggling under braking and already right on the back. Will he be sending one down? He's on his penultimate corner. He had to think about it, but a very risky spot to overtake there. In the pit lane. No guys in the pit lane wants to get Razvan to get back in. Oh, bit of contact there between the Mercedes and the Ferrari. And now into overtake. Varichello looking to get past Andrew. Hunting for a bit of that slipstream and looking to the outside. Russell getting past Fifi, who seems to be struggling at the moment. But down the inside goes Varichello, and Andrew's going to have to concede that position. Bit of a twitch on the car as well. Russell putting a car between him and Dragos, and will Dragos go down the inside here? He's had to think about it. Stayed behind for the time being. Bit of DRS now for the McLaren. Opts not to use overtaking Fifi. I think maybe doing that manages to get ahead. Marius Daniel right on the back of Razvan as well. This battle between the Haas driver and the Ferrari is looking very, very strong at the moment. Another few issues with the timing screen. Yellow flag in sector 1. Who has gone off? That's Fifi. Fifi's had an issue down there, and he's managed to get going once again. More wing damage, I think, maybe for him. The Mercedes and the Ferrari still battling away. Andrew's not too far behind. Oh, but there's damage. There's wing damage there. Wing damage between Marius Daniel and Razvan as they've come. They got very, very close in the corner. Maybe coming into the pit lane. We might see the Ferrari driver now, because the pit window is now open. And Law into the pit lane. Law is pulling the trigger. We'll get the tyres up straight away. Coming into the pit lane, make sure that car gets slowed down in time as this promoted now up in a P5. Marius Daniel as well into the pit lane. I think he's going to get rid of that wing damage we saw him gain on that lap. Interesting what tyres the guys go on to. A lot of guys getting up further up in the field. Law onto medium tyres, and he's out of the pit lane. Marius Daniel, they go changing that front wing onto hard tyres. Seems to be going to the end. Can the medium tyres last to the end? I'm not too sure about that. I'll have to see how that develops with Law coming out in P11. And he just managed to get ahead of Dragos in a bit of a gap at the moment. Showcrime was back of Andrew. Seems to be falling down the field a bit at the moment. But Law running, both of them running one. I think both of them getting a warning for that potentially. Oh, the battle just in front is very close. Varichello right on the back of Razvan. These guys are the two highest medium runners at the moment. Both of them started the race on the medium compound tyres. Keep an eye on the front though. Looks like the top two staying on another lap, trying to extend this soft stint as long as possible. Varichello getting a 3-second time penalty though. Showcrime right on the back of Andrew. We're going to have to keep an eye on both of these battles. Varichello and Razvan, and Andrew and Showcrime, the battle for 6th and the battle for a bit of a twitch there for the Mercedes driver. Top 5 all staying out, it seems, at the moment. Barrichello off of that final corner, opening DRS. Not up to use overtake just yet. Not closing anything how he would have wanted to. Showcrime into the pit lane now. Showcrime is into the pit lane. We had a flag somewhere, and that is Fifi off once again, struggling on those hard compound tyres. Gets going once again. I think he's getting a lap now. It's really not a great race so far for Fifi. I think Rao having a few issues. Lost connection from this race. Into the pit lane, Dragos and Showcrime, both of them onto the medium tyres. It's just closing on the back of Billy Misu. Another battle. And Barrichello still frustrated behind Razan. Law and Russell coming a bit closer after Law pitted on the last lap. And Maris Daniel and Fifi, the only guys opting for the hard tyre at the moment. And we'll see if people are running the 2-stop or the 1-stop. I think these guys at the front may be looking to try and go onto that soft compound tyre. Sorry, onto the straight onto the hard. Try and do a 1-stop as they're trying to extend this stint as long as possible. The top 3. Top 2 stay out, but Ginalex into the pit lane, the first of the front runners to come into the pit lane. Billy Misu stays out, Lasisto comes into the pit lane. We'll have to see what these guys opt to. Medium tyres, if they go for mediums, surely it must be a 2-stop strategy. Law though, getting past Russell, and that was down the inside. For the Renault driver making progress, but on 2 very different strategies. These guys, Ginalex onto the hard tyres, Lasisto onto the mediums. We could be seeing a bit of a difference here. And we'll see how these... We've seen Fifi has been struggling on those hard tyres. Maris Daniel came on the hard tyres as well. He's on the back of Showcrime, who pitted not too long ago either. And Law just keeping ahead, and the 2 Alpha Taharis coming out. We see a bit of team orders, but actually Lassist gets past down into turn number 1. Those guys start to make their stops. I think we're going to have a few people on different strategies. Let's see where they filter out towards the last sort of 10 laps. Keep an eye on who's doing what. As it does, I think obviously the hard tyre is not going to give you that level of grip, but can very easily go to the end. Medium tyres, you might have to stop again. Maris Daniel though, on those hard tyres, is looking very strong. Got a full front wing now, after obtaining a bit of damage, but Adi spinning into the pit lane, hanging Alexandru out to dry a little bit. He carries on for another lap, but that gap he had as a lead should stay intact. Bit of a lock up there from Andrew. Just trying a little bit on these old soft tyres. Adi spinning onto the hards, going to the end. He seems he's not going anywhere. There he goes. Razvan's going to get past his teammate down. Tell me it's going to be very close. I think Adi Spinning's going to want to hold on to this position. All getting very close as Barrichello can get involved towards Razvan, and Barrichello haven't pitted yet. They started the race on the medium tyres. Andrew coming out on hard tyres as well. Very interesting how this all plays out. And towards the end, Showcrime getting past as Andrew does finally make his stop. He goes on to the hard tyres as well, looking to do a 1-stop. But Assist is going to start making progress. Lord just in front of him. Also another driver looking to try and make progress. Oh, Barrichello's round. Barrichello's round. There must have been contact. He's got a bit of throwing damage as well. Maybe he hit the wall. Or maybe he hit the back of one of the drivers in front. He's behind the 2 Haas drivers at the time now. We're going onto the grass. They're trying to go around the outside. Can he make the move stick? This is a very bold move from Lassist, but that's a fantastic move to get ahead of Barrichello. Very opportunistic as well. Finding the gap. What can the other Mercedes do? Just behind the Ferrari and Renault at the moment. Showcrime, another driver, looks to be committing to that 2-stop. Both Renaults committing to the 2-stop. Oh, and Billy Misu and Alexandru into the pit lane. Alexandru on for hard. What's Billy Misu going to do? I think going that long, surely you're going to be looking at a set of hards as well. Alexandru out easily into lead, and Billy Misu as well. Barrichello finally comes in for his stop, so I think he might be coming onto hard compound tyres. A lot of drivers gaining places as drivers come into the pit lane. I think we're about to finish the first round of stops. Russell and Billy Misu can be very close, but Russell just sweeps around the outside, making a bit of an undercut work. I think Russell was going to have to pit again. Barrichello onto the medium, so he's going for a 2-stop as well. After starting the race on the medium compound tyres. Assist on the back of Law. He's closed that gap over the last couple of laps. I think we saw him last time around, not too far behind the Renault driver. And change flying boy Val. Oh, it's contact now between Barrichello, who's just come out of the pit lane and went for a move down the inside. I think maybe it was a bit of a day late and a dollar short move. And the door, I think, may have closed through, not getting the luck today, Varicello in that Mercedes. And Dan not too far behind Dragos at the moment. Maurice Daniel very close with Chokran, but I've seen there's a bit of debris on the front left there. Maybe had a bit of an excursion on those hard tyres. They do lack the grip. And I think we could see the likes of Law, Lucis, start to challenge the guys at the front almost and close up to them during this stint. Gap not too far at the moment. Andrew Ivan getting a 2-second time penalty, that 3-second time penalty there. Andy Spinney, gap 2 seconds at the top. It's definitely closed down. It's going to be a battle of who is more comfortable on those medium hard tyres. And that is going to be another one that's really interesting to see. Billy Misu down the inside of Roussel. And giving that to P7. Billy Misu on the hard tyre, looking to go to the end. And he will be wanting to make sure he's not too far behind the two cars in front. They definitely have to pit again. I think Razvan's obviously going to have to pit again. He started the race on those tyres. Varicello just coming up to the back of Dan, and we could see another move now. Down is turn one. Can he get this one a bit more spot on? Looks to the outside. Could be deep on the brakes. Sweeps around, bit of contact. And he turned in a little bit too tightly there. And down onto the grass. Down onto the grass. And not great for Dan. He's going to lose maybe a position to Calais. He's a bit too far back at the moment. Clay's definitely going to close up. And we could see a good battle for P16 starting to form. Maurice Daniel not too far behind Shadowground. Assist still stuck behind Law now. Alexandria actually pulled a couple of tenths now to Adi Spinney. That will be good to see. But Law starting to reel in. Janalex in front of the drivers on the hard tyres. He is in a net, I'd say a net third place in this race, Janalex, with Razvan still having to make his pit stop. You just see what Razvan decides to do. Will he come on the hard tyres and commit to the end, or will he look to try something else and maybe do a two-stop from this position? Not too sure. The gap not coming down quite as quickly enough. Dragos under pressure at the moment. Varicello going to go down the inside. He's made some bold moves today, and that one looks like he's made it stick. Bit of a lock up there in all of that, but getting past into the penultimate corner, and a good move for Varicello as he gets past and up into 14th place. Now looking to make progress in this race. So still frustrated behind Law, both of them reeling in. Janalex at the moment, gap at the front still sort of staying as to what it was. A few little penalties coming about, and that could come into play. Some of the gaps not too big at the moment. You could see penalties really affecting Varicello, though, already onto the back of Flying Boy Val. They're side by side, up and towards turn 4. He's gone down the inside, keeps it in track limits as well. So, I mean, Varicello, he does not like the easy move. Down the inside into turn 4, and that is a very, very bold move. And now he's looking to make progress and try and reel in Ivan. Try and reel in Ivan and Andrew, and try and go for a bit of a charge on this two-stop as he runs a little bit wide. Assist closing now. Danny Tillman, can he get close enough? Looks to the outside of the runner driver. Looks to get a bit of a switchback. Oh, bit of contact. Lortz keeps it out of the wall, though. Keeps it facing the right direction now, and coming straight back at him is the assist. Looking to go clean around the outside. This could be a fantastic move. Who's going to emerge out on top? Alpatari gets the inside for the next corner, and up into P5 goes the assist, and finally he'll be the one with clean air, and he will be wanting to make progress in this middle sector now. Now he has the ability to push clear. Dragos looks to be catching Flying Boy Valley at the gap now. Less than 0.5 of a second. We'll see if that battle is coming into an overtake, and not quite at the moment, as Humber Val just keeping ahead as they went into the braking zone. Dragos has good pace, it seems, at the moment. A little bit more grip maybe, and Flying Boy Val, with his tyres being that much younger, Flying Boy Val stopping very early after being a bit of contact with another driver. Maurice Daniel still stuck behind show crime, but I think this shows the hard tyres aren't much slower than the mediums. Oh, into pit lane comes Razvan. So we have to see where he feeds out, and he's going to start to drop down the order. And he's not even made it to his pit box yet, so it could be quite a bit of damage for the Haas driver. Quite a long pit lane, I feel like, here, so 2 stops definitely difficult, and he goes onto the hard tyres, so making that 1 stop now, and he can now go to the end of the race. And yeah, the freshest hards when it comes to the end, where he's going to slot out just behind our driver in P11, which is a little bit outside the points. It's just those already put a gap of a second and a bit between himself and Lauren. Now got the gap to less than a second between Janalex, and Janalex gonna have to start thinking about maybe doing a bit of defending. He's had a very sort of lonely race so far. Yellow flag in sector 2, and Fifi's out of the race. Fifi is out of the race after crashing down. We'll see if we can try and find him. A safety car. Safety car has been called out now. Safety car has been called out, and Alexandru is in the perfect position to utilise the pit lane. Will he? He does. Making a late call. He's not sure. He's not sure, and he is coming to pit lane. He's coming to pit lane. Addy spinning, staying out, committing to that hard tyre. We'll have to see what Janalex does now, but safety car has really mixed things up, and unfortunately for the likes of someone like Razavan, it's come just at the wrong time. Literally, if that incident had come one lap previous, it would have benefited massively. Janalex into the pit lane though now. Surely medium tyres to the end. Assist following suit, and it's a drive-through. A drive-through through Andrew for speeding under the safety car. The system into pit lane. Law into the pit lane. Billy Mutu into the pit lane. What's Russell doing? He's in pit lane. He's on 14 lap mediums. This is perfect for the likes of Russell, who can now take advantage of this and come out, you know, much higher position. Showcrime coming into pit lane as well. I think everyone. Marius Daniel's staying out on the hard tyres. Andrew Ivan coming in. Razavan, of course, staying out. He's only just pitted as the Haas driver. Andrew does come into pit lane, of course, but he's got a driver. I don't know if he can. I assume he can't serve it. Just now Vlaricello staying out on those medium tyres. I think maybe they can go to the end. I'm not sure what he previously did. What was his previous? He started on those mediums. Started on mediums, didn't he? So he maybe didn't take the opportunity to come to a set of hards. Bring everyone into the pit lane. And the two ghosts at the back just having to think he had a few connection issues and not with us right now. But this has very much neutralised the race. Addy Spinning is the new race leader. However, he's on 5 lap old mediums. Alexander came to pit lane and he's on brand spanking new medium compound tyres. Marius Daniel as well put himself into play, it must be said. Stayed out on those hard tyres. He was looking to go to the end on them anyway. And can he now benefit? Currently sat in the podium positions, but he's got some very quick medium runners behind him. And the field very spread out at the moment. It's going to bunch us all up again and sort of ruin the good work of the front guys who had fantastic pace. The horse was effectively, we're racing a, you know, the ability range is sort of C1 to C6, but very much closing the gap. And you know, the guys, they can find a way past at the restart. This could be massive for them. I mean, the pit window is open for a one stop apparently. That's good to see. But the field is so spread out. You've got Lane 17 just making his way through that sort of turn 6-7 chicane, while the leader's just making their way through turn 1 of the safety car. So massive for Calais. Very, very unlucky this race, but he can now go to the end on those hard tyres, and he'll be looking to make progress after a bit of a messy start. We didn't quite see what happened to him, unfortunately. I think Razvan definitely the big loser in all of this. He's gained some positions and I think gone up to P8, you know, after starting on the medium tyres. But if it came one lap later, he was sat in third place, looking very good. And the safety car came out just one lap prior to when it did. I mean, he could surely be a couple of positions higher up. But nevertheless, we've seen his pace so far. I'm sure he will be looking to make a charge early on. And if I had to make a prediction, it would be we're going racing at the end of the next lap. You guys just making the way through sector 1. You can see on the right hand side. Very much neutralising the race. Addy Spinning, championship leader, does lead the way. Alexandru in P2. He's currently down in P9. But one race finish for him this season, getting third. Getting third place in Spain last time out. That's where he got his podium. Can he go one step higher or even to the top step of the podium this time around? As we just under the safety car for one more time, and you see the final guys just sort of making their way. Rao is sort of not his fault. He's, you know, unfortunately having a few connections. Is sat in amongst all this in effectively third place at the moment. And that could be a bit of frustration at the restart. The likes of Maris Daniel could put him into the clutches of the likes of Janalex, Assist, Law and Billy Misu. Shortly now, Clay and Dan and Dragus have joined us, and they have met the back of the pack up now, and we will get racing very, very shortly. I'm sure it must be the end of this lap. Nevertheless, we'll get telemetry up for Adi Spinu. One thing I have noticed on this game, it almost hits the back of the safety car, is the tyres. It's very hard to keep temperature in the tyres during the safety car period. You've got to work them a lot, and especially those hard tyres, being 7 laps old already, did a few laps on them previously. Behind the safety car, they're going to be very cold. You've got to work them really hard. And this also means on the restart, you've got to be ever so careful. That final corner is very, very difficult in race conditions, heavy fuel, hard tyres. Add to the fact that they're cold, it's going to be even harder for him to get the power line as you want to. And this is surely Alexandru's a great chance for him to try and find a way past. Surely we're coming in this lap, and we are coming in this lap. Perfectly on cue. And race control saying the safety car is in this lap, and Adi Spinu will lead the field away. You can see the Alfa Romeo driver just behind, working those tyres as best he can. And we'll see now when he decides to go, starts to back the pack up. Let the safety car tuck into the pit lane. And when he decides to go, we'll see how Alexandru gets away. Bit tentative, and now we're away. Now we're revving the throttle a bit there. Getting on the power, it's been a fantastic restart. Fantastic restart, up into overtake, weaving a bit, trying to get a bit of temperature in these tyres. I think as well. Moves further back. Oh, into the wall, we got a big crash. Massive crash, Showcrime out of the race. Flying Boy Val. He's nowhere near this. But Razavan, massive damage to his front wing. Lock up there, there's more damage for Andrew. Massive crash, we didn't see what happened. I think maybe Andrew Ivan and Maricello just managed to scoot through it without any troubles at all. And the two Mercedes drivers don't seem to have any damage on their cars. But assist onto the back of Maris Daniel. There's a chaos on the restart. The top two absolutely, off and away. And these guys are very, very close in the midfield. The middle of the was so good at the start of the race. Can we see it? Andrew Ivan getting past his teammate. The two Mercedes drivers dueling with maybe team orders down there. We're not too sure. But the battle from third downwards looking very, very strong at the moment. And we're in for some real competition. Showcrime, we didn't really see what happened. It was carnage when we flicked to it. Maybe cold tyres on the restart. Lasisto. Maybe we're going to see one down the inside of Maris Daniel. Thinks better of it. Gap out the front. Dan those managed to get past Razaman. The gap in the front under a second. Of course, I don't think we get DRS just yet. Law though. Yellow flag. That's a spinner. We're just Dragos down at the back. Unfortunately spinning. And he drops the back of the field. He was retired from the session. I think a little bit illegally. But we'll gloss over the fact. And Dan making up more positions. Got a bit higher up. And we see he moves down into turn 1. Maris Daniel covers the inside. Getting on the power now. Can he get away? Top two separate by not a lot. Varicelli getting past his teammate. Two Mercedes drivers, will they appear? Oh no, but we've got a fantastic move now. Maris Daniel trying to hold it on the inside. Just can't find the way around the outside. That hard tyre somehow gripping up and keeping him ahead. Oh, very close. I've got drivers in the pit lane. Razvan and Andrew getting rid of that front wing damage that they sustained with that crazy restart. And the battle at the front is very, very close at the moment. I think we could be potentially seeing a move. And at the end of the next lap, and Alexandra, I think, making the good strategy call here. And he's been getting track position, but the fresh tyres, fresh medium tyres, really helping out Alexandria. But of course, can he get to the end on those? By the end of the race, will those medium tyres start to fall apart? And Maris Daniel looking to get on with it, and it's medium versus hards here as well. We're seeing that at the front of the race too. A bit of a lock up there from Lorne. Down the main straight. He's all over the back end already. The gap is less than 2 of a second. It's 30 second. It's Alexandru. DRS is enabled. And then you're going to get it this time around, though. Racing down towards turn 1. Which way will the Alfa Romeo driver go? He's going to go down the inside of the Haas driver. Can he get a switch back? Trying to hang it around the outside. Bit of tyre to tyre contact there, maybe. Under the system. Maris Daniel going side by side as well. The battle out the front seems to be done and dusted. The system, Maris Daniel side by side. We're giving it absolutely every can. The Ferrari driver hang it around the outside. Not quite. And Law's going to get a good view of this and can't take advantage. Maybe the McLaren of Billy Misu can find a way past up the hill now. They're very, very close. Billy Misu looking to the outside, trying to be clear as he spots his braking point for turn 4. Just runs a bit wide, understeered a bit wide there. It does. Varicello climbing onto the back of this battle as well, as he's not too far back from Russell. And he's been actually held onto that position. I thought Alexandru got past. Varicello though, down the inside of Russell into the chicane. That seems to have been a bit of a good little move there. Down into the chicane. Bold move. I said yellow flag, and who's out the back? It's Clay. No, it's Clay. Clay retiring from the session. He seems to have had a moment with a virtual safety car. We'll be seeing the top two take advantage of this. They're very, very close. Adi Slitney Woodley decides to come into the pit lane. He decides to stay out. Alexandru staying out. And who's going to get the best restart? Alexandru not finding a way past in the end. I thought he got past him into turn 1, to be honest with you, as they went down into turn 2. Needs to be very, very careful though. We don't get anyone speeding at the end of the VSC period. Just stalking his prey there. Is the Alfa Romeo driver. Can he find a way past? Drive into the pit lane though. Varicello, Russell and Andrew Ivan. Then we're going to see double stacking at Mercedes. We're going to see double stacking at Mercedes. Oh, and there we go. Flying ball back at the drive-through penalty. Lock up from Alexandru. Andrew Ivan's going to be a little bit frustrated. He's double stacking down at the Mercedes garage. We've got a good restart, and Alexandru rides on the back of the race leader. Genetics, actually, this whole safety car bridge benefits him massively. He's looking very good at the moment and in a good place in this race to go to third place. So he's currently down to 16th, Genetics. This will be a fantastic result for him. Currently only has 2 points to his name. So this podium will do massive for his championship, and it'll be his best result in RLH. Just joint. Actually, his best finish is second. I apologise. Just checking the website. Best finish of second. I think he might race in the Romanian League last season. Alexandru, I think he's close enough to have a go into turn 1. He's had to DRS this time around, and that gap is actually coming down. Yellow flag in sector 2, and there's to be one Mercedes. I think he's had a bit of an issue down there. Can the McLaren of Billy Misu find a way past into turn 1? We're looking to the outside now as the two drivers in front cover the inside, but they dart back to the racing line. Billy Misu sends it down the inside, but both of them are late. All three of them are late and on the brakes. Alexandru, though, can he find a way past the hash driver? A bit of contact, and there's actually wing damage for Alexandru. Goes off the track, and the two of them have come together. The top two have come together, and the wing damage now going to really compromise the Alfa Romeo. Russell onto the soft compound tyres, coming out in P10. Just behind Varicello. Andrew Ivan, I think, was the car that had the crash into the wall. But this is big news for the fight at the front. We would have thought he would have been plain sailing from here on, but that's big damage and really struggling through this middle sector now. It's Alexandru, and he might come into fall into the clutches of Alex. Not far behind him is Lassist. Law. Billy Misu still frustrated behind the Ferrari, but Russell now seems to have a really good pace on those soft tyres. He'll be hunting down Varicello, who's just come out on fresh hards as well. We're going to see softs versus hards and get a real good indication of which tyre is best. I think we know which tyre is best in terms of speed. Alexandru into the pit lane though. Alexandru into the pit lane. This is big for the race lead. And it'd be interesting to see if from this point on, in the medium tyres, are they going to pit? Maybe coming for a set of softs. But Alexandru getting rid of that front wing damage, I think, just knew he was going to be compromised so much, and he'll come out just behind this battle, which is still raging on. The Renault and the McLaren both look to the outside. McLaren sends it on the inside. Bit of a flick there. But Law, if he gets on the power early enough, he'll have DRS once again. He'll be using overtake. Neither Marizadonio or him have enough overtake. Left and down the inside, looking to make a move. Oh, and a bit of contact tyre to tyre. Oh, sorry, front wing to tyre. I think that might have been a bit of damage there for Law. I don't know if he already had it. Alexandru onto the softs now, so he'll be looking to make progress. Currently down in 8th, he's got his teammate in front of him, and Law losing a bit of time there. And that front wing damage, I think, is going to compromise. I'm going to see the same as we saw for Alexandru on that last lap. Really struggling through this middle sector now, and there is a change. Alexandru already passed his teammate, those soft tyres on a charge, and to see how high he can get up. He's got lots of clean air in front of him now. 16 seconds to pull on Billy Misu, who's all the way back at all that front wing damage. Surely coming to pit lane this time around, and already can he make a move down the inside towards the end of the lap? Going to get past down into turn 12. Good move there from Billy Misu, and assist already onto the back of Alex. and the gap 8 tenths of a second now. We're getting DRS now, starting to wanting to try and find a way past. Law coming into the pit lane as we would have thought, and that's going to help out Alexandru massively in this race, getting rid of that from damage, making sure he doesn't speed into the pit lane. It's all looking very good for Marius Daniel at the moment. Sam P4 making that staying out strategy work. This is closing the gap at the top, and we'll see Alexandru will put on the old gap to the leader. Gap 25 seconds at the moment. I just want to see, almost compare how much he can pull this gap in. Russell trying to find a way past Varicello. It's soft versus hard. We did talk about this a couple of moments ago, and it's gonna, you know, the soft tyres are gonna be so much better at the start, but towards the end of this race, if you just come on softs now, doing 10 laps, I think that's very doable. We saw that at the start of the race. Definitely, if you're battling away in that dirty air, it could be very hard. But Alexandru, that's the gap we're comparing at the moment. Gap was 25 at the start of that, 25 and a bit, and already look at this, 24 seconds, and we're not even towards the end. But oh, we got a crash, or I think Azerbaijan DNF. Judging by the fact he's still driving down towards turn 1, I think that might be another cheeky little retirement on the track, which of course we do not like to see. Alexandru though, 23.6 seconds, he's on a charge at the moment. We're watching keeping on his progress as he closes onto the back of the McLaren driver in front. Fast lap of the race for Alexandru, of course 69, a very strong lap. Varicello coming onto the back of Dan, another driver having a great race, one of the C6 drivers, and so good to see him doing well here today. Look at position change, up 13 places is Dan. Fantastic stuff, must be said. Been very, very strong in C6. Cruelly had the win taken away from him. A bit of a technical glitch issue in Spain. And he was looking super strong, but assist also looking super strong. Genetics currently in a record equaling finish for himself. And the Racing Point driver under threat though from the assist in the AlphaTauri. I got 9 seconds now, it's coming down massively. Billy Misu onto the back of Marius Daniel. They're getting very, very close. Varicello though, all at the back of Dan and Russell, not too far behind on the soft tyres. See, actually the assist looking very close. The gap 2 tenths per second. He's looking to try and man a move. Switches to the outside now. On the brakes, the Toros driver goes on the outside, gives him enough room on the inside, and I think he's going to get the job done. Can Genetics come back in with a bit of ERS? Russell though has managed to get past Varicello. Bit of an ambitious move. I think Varicello's actually made a mistake, maybe. Tried another ambitious move on Dan, it just didn't quite pay off. Billy Misu not finding a way past Marius Daniel, just and Genetics I think seems to have lost that position from the driver in front. And we will we'll see Billy Misu getting really close, but as they move into this middle sector, it's very much follow the leader. The driver that does look in a very, very strong position at the moment is Assist. He is on an absolute charge. The gap between him and Andy Sweeney, 2 seconds at the moment. And that has, I'm pretty sure that has come down over the course since the restart. Again, now 6.8 between Dan and Billy Misu. Billy Misu is being really held up by Marius Daniel at the moment. Alexandru, can he get onto the podium? Can he get onto the podium? He's got quite a bit of time to find, but definitely the opportunity and the possibilities is there. Varicello trying to close back up that gap. Has he got wing damage? He does have wing damage. I think that might have come from the last lap incident that we just didn't quite see, and getting a 3-second time penalty to add to his woes. Russell's got a fantastic run though out of turn 11. Billy Misu, can he find a way past Marius Daniel? Making the way down the main straight. He's going to have DRS. He's going to be using a bit of overtake, I suspect. But again, the corner just comes a little bit too quickly for him. He closes massively on the braking zone. Marius Daniel got on the power a bit early, doing a bit of a slow in, fast out, and that was good defensive driving to make sure he held into position. Though Russell coming onto the back of Dan, who's going to have a bit more ERS. We've got a bit of a change. Andrew Ivan getting past Flying Boy Val. But Russell though looking to go around the outside. It's AlphaTauri versus Alpha Romeo. The two Alphas battling away and not finding a way past into turn 1, but he's going to have a much better run. DRS as well. And looking to go round the outside, and then of course that switches to the inside in the next corner. Can he hang around the outside? It's softs versus hards, and I think we'll be losing that position because that then switches to the inside, and a great overtake there from Russell. And Danny did everything he could, but he just couldn't quite pole position. The gap at the front, actually, down to 1.4 seconds. We could have battled on for the lead here. It's a bit of a lock-up. I think that might have been from behind or in front, or I'm not too sure. But Billy Misu onto the back of Marius Daniel once again, and the gap at the front coming down. And we could see Lassist, who has had a great race. He's come up quite a few positions. Up 4 places, so doing very, very well. And Andrew gets a time penalty, coming down in 13th place. Not been an ideal race for him after such a good qualifying. And Billy Misu still behind Marius Daniel. He's using overtake though now. Getting a lot closer to the Ferrari driver. Flicks to the outside now. Can he find a way past? He's ahead. Can he swoop it around the outside? He's going to try and do it. Get on the power as quickly as he can. But he's going to be side by side with the Ferrari. Just about gets ahead now. Marius Daniel trying to fight it back. But with DRS, of course, then for... You get a double dose of DRS here at the Hungary ring. Even if you make the overtake stick in turn 1, the McLaren driver is past as they make their way up towards the top of the hill. Oh, almost having a look to try and find a way back past Marius Daniel. He's lost a bit of time there, having that little bit of a look. Barrichello though now on the back of Dan, and can't get past into turn 2. As he comes through turn 3, he can get the best run up the hill now. It's actually going to be Barrichello. This could be a fantastic move as they climb up the hill towards turn 4. They'll be side by side now. Who's going to get the move ahead? And Barrichello swoops around the outside. I think he might get a warning. A better track extending, but that was a bold move, and we said it before, and we'll say it again. This guy does not like the easy overtake. Another move into turn 4, and he's showing you how to overtake here at the Hungary ring. A fantastic move. Alexandru though now, he closed up 10 seconds, well, in absolutely no time, almost losing the rear of the car there. But right on the back of Marius Daniel, of course, just lost that position to Billy Misu. And I think a third place is going to be a little bit too much to ask for Alexandru. He's going to be onto the back of Marius Daniel, looking to the inside now, got much better speed. And down the inside, he is going to go, and those soft tyres can give a much better exit, I think. And off he's away, Barrichello, even with wing damage, onto the back of Russell, after dispatching Dan brilliantly on that previous lap now as they run now towards turn 1. He's looking to the inside. Will he send it, or didn't send it? He's going to try and send it down the inside. The soft tyres there of Russell. Can he find a way back past? Of course, it's going to be DRS for Barrichello. I think that's going to help him defend and keep the position as he goes into turn number 2. Great manage so far, and Laws managed to close to the back of this whole battle. At the back end of the points, these guys fighting over 10th, 9th, 8th and 7th. And the gap at the front is less than a second. It's going to be started with DRS. We've got a car off, and I think that's Law. Law's had a bit of an issue. Got a bit of front wing damage as well, but he's got to kept the car going. And making sure he doesn't have any issues too massively. But assist using DRS now, and he's closing that gap. Very nice to get double dose of DRS, of course. Spoke about that a couple of moments ago, but Alexandru right on the back of Billy Misu. Billy Misu defending very aggressively. He knows that 4th place is going to be under threat here. Will he send one down the inside? He's going to be very late on the brakes. Alexandru, they're going to be side by side as they make their way through turn number 1. But Alfa Romeo driver getting ahead fine without getting a 3-second time penalty. But the gap at the front, I mean, an assist. A very quiet qualifying. Came in with a lap to get him into P6 out of nowhere, and now he is challenging for the win. It's medium tyres versus hards, and surely the later we get onto this race, I mean, those hard tyres, 20 laps holding me really suffering at the moment. But nevertheless, those medium tyres are going to be in absolute pieces, I'm sure, when he crosses the finish line, and no matter what position he is in. With the gap 0.8 of a second, it's slowly coming down. He's, now he's getting the DRS. He's going to get a little bit closer each lap, and that's going to really help him save ERS as well. Just to compare ERS between the drivers, it looks to be a little bit of a massive advantage. Full assist is doing a bit of saving. Adi Spinner though looking to make it 3 wins so far this season, but his wins under threat from L'assist. I think penalties could come into play out of this massively. Got yellow flag. What's happened down at what's happened down here? I think that is just for Andrew, who is circulating at the moment. But the gap now 0.7 of a second. It's starting to get real close in the top 2. And this could get very, very interesting. Dan though onto the back of Russell. These guys are still pretty close. I think this those soft tyres starting to wear off. Both of them have fully intact front wings. And Dan, can he find a way past? Up into P8 along the pit straight. Top 2 just making their way through turn 6 and 7. And this is the part now where L'assist needs to keep close with the Haas driver in front. Dan just on the back, can't get close enough down to turn 1. Can he get a good run? Oh, loses the car now. Dan's lost the car and he's into the wall. Dan lost the car and he's into the wall. He's got front wing damage and surely now dropping out of the top 10. With Andrew Ivan coming around turn 1 now. And that is a big blow for Dan. He's had a fantastic race, making up loads of positions. And I think with that front wing damage, I think this could be game over for him. We'll have to look at it when he pops into shot. And yeah, that's massive damage on the front right for him. Really unfortunate for Dan. Had such a strong race. I think those medium tyres getting a little bit too much to handle as he struggles to get on the power. Wants to get the power as quickly as he could to try and challenge into turn 2. The gap out the front, very, very close. And I think we won't have a look at everyone's penalties. We'll have a quick look at the top 2, get an idea for what they're doing. Ali Spinu absolutely clean, and Assist clean, but both of them one more warning, and it is a penalty. So they need to be careful in these last 2 laps, and whilst both of them are pushing, and this could get very, very tasty. The gap though, it's just struggling to, pull that gap in by a lot. As he's dropping, is flirting with just being over a second now. It's looking to get very, very close indeed. Go through turn 11 now. And there we go. I think that could be game over. Assist just running a little bit wide. I mean, he was fractionally over the curbing off the exit of turn 11, and a 3-second time penalty for him now. Dan does come into the pit lane, changing that front wing, but 3-second penalty there for Assist, and it's sort of ruined the battle, but nevertheless we still want to see if he can try and close the gap. The gap a second, he's not going to get DRS. We can see it there on his rear wing, and I think that could, with 2 laps left to go, including this current lap, that could hand the race win to Ali Spinu, and he could be looking to make it 3 wins this season. Absolutely stellar start to the season from the Haas driver. And looking at the race results so far this season, it was taking the first win of the season in Austria. We went to Silverstone, another win for him. In Spain last time out, only managed P2 with Marco Bosa taking the win on that occasion. I was not racing today because we have full grid, which is really good to see. But let's see, the gap still just under a second, but keep an eye on how he's spinning, hoping he doesn't get any penalties here. And look at that, complete control of that Haas car. And with 1 lap left to go, I think this could be win number 3. And of course, when he didn't win, he came second. So he has been absolutely phenomenal this season, relentless and always there at the right place at the right time. Alexandru hasn't been able to close that gap to 3rd place, but I think a 4th place, considering he made that extra sort of unwanted stop, definitely benefited him. Look at the stops, and yeah, he was 3 stops actually for him, making that stop on the safety car as well. I think that's why a lot of drivers are on 3 stops, but Ali Spinu made it work. He did question the move to stay out at the time, and Andrew Ivan looking to get a bit higher up into the points. He's right on the back of Law. Not running a bit wide, losing a bit of momentum now as they come into turn 11. A little bit more aggressive on the entry, but much more aggressive on the exit. Here's Andrew Ivan, can't go down the inside now, and playing a bit sensibly with a AI car up the road. Didn't want to take any big risks. Down there is not having as he locks the brakes. Gap on the front, still 9/10 of a second, 8/10 of a second. We got a yo. It's Dan. Dan losing on the soft tyres, pushing a little bit too much. His teammate comes past him. I thought that might have been Alexandru there for a second, but making the move now. Down into turn 1 is Andrew Ivan, and he is ahead. And can he keep the position on Law? He's going to go lock up, but doesn't go in too deep. And Law now, can he come back at him? But of course, it's DRS for Andrew Ivan. And I think this being the final lap, he could have secured another point for himself. But come across the line, Ali Spinu to take another win. His 3rd win of the season. Assist takes a joint best finish for him in RLH P2. Ginax takes 3rd place. Oh, no, sorry, Assist. I don't actually will Assist. What's his best? Assist. His best finish of 5th, so it's a first podium for as well. Alexandru takes 4th, but I think a race what could have been. Fantastic stuff from Assist. The best race finish of 5th up until now. He takes P2. Ginax 1 place off his highest finish in 3rd. Billy Musso takes 5th, Maris Daniel 6th place, 28 laps on the hard. Well done, fair play. That's good work from here. Valaricello comes around the final corner to take home P7. A couple of unserved penalties though, it seems. I think Revistel has a few himself. Andrew Ivan closed the gap, and I think they might see a couple of position changes here due to penalties. Russell jumps Valaricello, and Andrew Ivan actually doesn't jump any of them. Quite a few more penalties it seems. Laws jumped Andrew Ivan, and Flying Boy Val will come home just outside the points. And that'll be the final car to cross the line. But it's a win for Ali Spinu. And I think he'll be very, very happy with that. And especially with Alexandre, looks so quick here today. But Russell gets driver of the day. Good drive from him, must be said, making up for a poor qualifying. And considering he is currently 4th in the championship, it's another good race from him despite that poor qualifying session for him. Podium drivers very happy indeed. And the Haas team take the spoils today. And they'll continue their dominance in the Constructors' Championship, courtesy of another win for Ali Spinu, not getting any penalties. Very impressive. A fast lap point goes to Alexandru, getting into the 16s, very quick time on those soft tyres towards the end of the race. But another win for Ali Spinu, the Sis taking a RLH and season best finish of P2, first podium for him. Alex onto the podium for the first time this season, and really getting his season underway. Only 2 points to his name so far, and I think he'll be very happy with the race today. Alexandra, a race what could have been, but still 12 points for him today. Good result. And Billy Musso, Maris Daniel, Russell, Valaricello, Law and Andrew Ivan round out the top 10 with Flying Boy Val, Dan. I think the final car to finish, Andrew Rao, Adi Suzu, Razavan, Calais, Dragos and Showcrime and Fifi not making it to the end. Thank you for watching. Been a very enjoyable race. I've really enjoyed commentating. Also hope everyone has enjoyed watching, and we will see everyone tomorrow night as we kick off the rest of the week's action in the non-Romanian League categories with C1 and C3, so make sure to watch that. But of course we have C2 and C4 on Wednesday, and then C5 and C6, where you'll get me commentating once again. I'll be back for C6 in the commentary box, which you should be set for another great race. I mean, some very good, strong races in the C6 so far this season, so looking for more of the same. But been a great race in the Romanian League. Another win for Adi Spinu, absolutely dominant in the championship so far. And we'll see everybody very, very soon for more league racing action at RLH.